How I could study chess if I could start over? That's a good question. So, how I could study chess if I could start over? What are the things I could do for sure that I know are key things, that I know are vital things to learn and improve and get better soon in chess? Now that I have all this experience of so many years in chess and also working and training to get better, but also helping others, and I have seen the things that work better and the things that don't work that much. Assuming that I know nothing about chess, how I could start over? What are the things that I could do? Let's talk about that. I have been in chess for more than 20 years. I am FIDE master, professional chess player, also professional chess coach or chess instructor, and also content creator. So with all these years of experience in chess, I have some ideas about the things that I could do if I could start over. And I hope this is going to be helpful for, especially for beginners, but also for other players that are trying to get better and improve. And as everyone, I did mistakes when I was learning and improving. And now I can say some things that I think are vital to get better at chess. So in this video, I'm going to tell you 5 things that I could do for sure if I could start over. Let's get into it. So the first thing I could do for sure, and it has been said a lot, but we need to say it as many times as necessary because it's vital, and is to play a lot. And this time I'm going to be a little more specific, and I will say like an amount of time of playing. For example, if you want to get better, you should play 2 hours every day. So that's it. Just play 2 hours every day, and after 1 month or 2 months, you will notice the difference. There is a question I get a lot about this, and it is, what time control do you suggest? What time control should we play? And well, here I'm going to tell you, play the time control that you like. Play your favorite time control. Excluding bullet, play any time control that you like, but play games. Play 2 hours every day. For example, Blitz games, 5 minutes or 3 minutes to seconds increment are still good. I'm planning to talk about that in some next video. So yeah, play games. Of course, rapid games are also very good. 15 minutes, 10 seconds, 10 minutes games. All those time controls are perfect. Just find a time control that you enjoy, that you have fun, that you like, that you feel you're learning, and play games 2 hours every day. And this tip is even more important if you are like a beginner. So the less experience that you have, the more important is to play many games. Imagine, for example, if you're learning to ride a bike, well, at some point you need to ride a bike. So you actually learn. So you go through that process. So you know the strengths, and you know the balance, and you need to improve those things. And those are things that you get once you are riding the bike. So here's the same. I mean, when you're playing chess, for example, you are managing your time. You are seeing blunders that probably you made or maybe your opponent made, but especially the blunders that you made, they are fine because there's a moment where you won't make similar blunders anymore. So maybe you need 10 blunders like that, or maybe you need 100 blunders like that, but at some point you won't make the same mistake again. So playing many games, even if you're losing games, playing is still a great thing. And also when your opponent makes interesting maneuvers and beats you, you are still learning from that experience. And of course, also when you are winning games, you can learn the things that worked. So this idea worked very well in this game, and you can learn from that experience as well. So, you know, playing is vital, and this is something we need to do for sure. As I said, 2 hours per day is something I could do if I could start over. The second thing I could do if I could start over is to solve many puzzles every day. And again, I'm going to be specific. I could try to solve 100 puzzles every day. If you do 100 puzzles every day, you will notice the difference. After 4 weeks, you should notice the difference. Imagine that 4 weeks are like 3,000 puzzles, I think. So after 3,000 puzzles, you should get better. So there are many ways to solve puzzles. For example, we have I'm talking about rated puzzles, like regular puzzles according to your level. But also there are other options like Puzzle Rush or Puzzle Storm, Puzzle Racer. There are other variations. So all these variations are fine, but in general, I'm talking about rated puzzles, like 100 puzzles around your level, puzzles that you can solve, but you need to think a little, and they are not too easy, but also they're not too hard. So that's what I'm talking about. But if not, also the other ones. So the thing is that, especially on beginner level, but also on higher level, especially on beginner level, it happens around 95% of the games, I could say. Many games are decided by tactics or blunders. So, I'm telling you, the game is going to be decided by a tactic. So you know what you need to do. Practice tactics. Get a good, sharp tactic vision. And you're definitely going to be one step ahead if you do that. So that's what you need. As a beginner, that's what you need. That's why people always talk about that, because it's going to help a lot. So again, if you solve 100 puzzles, it could be like a challenge or like an experiment. Try to do that 100 puzzles every day and see what happens after 1 month. Another thing I could do if I could start over is read more chess books. And this is something that I really did a little late in my chess career. I started reading good chess books a little late, and I could improve that if I could start over. I could try to work a little more with chess books. Once I started reading good chess books, it was a game changer. I noticed the difference. I learned so many things from the right book at the right moment that it really changed everything. So there are things that you don't learn from playing games, or you don't learn from solving puzzles, or you don't even get from watching videos. So that's why I'm talking about reading chess books. When you're reading a chess book, the author is talking about some topic and is showing you everything you need to know about that. Different chapters with slightly different themes included in the same topic, and you are taking your time to get that knowledge, to understand everything. As I said, there are things that you don't get from other sources. You need to go to a book. I remember great books I have read about calculation, about technique in chess, about strategy, about how to play tournaments, about psychology. So I have read amazing chess books that changed the way I understand and the way I see chess. And as I said, these books have been a game changer. So that's something I would recommend anyone who's trying to improve, especially if you're serious about chess and you really want to improve, and you have like a challenge or a goal and you want to improve some, get better or increase your rating 200 points or things like that. Well, definitely that's something we need to do. And also, it's not about reading any book. It's about reading the right book at the right moment. Point number 4 of the things that I could do if I could start over learning and improving at chess is work on psychology. And this point is underestimated a lot, and I want to talk a little about this. For example, there are many situations where a good psychological preparation is necessary, is vital for a chess player. I'm going to highlight some specific situations here so you get the idea, but the main point is like you need to have a good psychological preparation when you're playing chess. For example, when you should accept a draw or when you should offer a draw. There's a lot of psychology behind these kind of decisions. Another example is how to deal with the stress of tournaments. At the beginning of the tournament, very often, in general, chess players and in general sports people deal with stress. And also in the situations where there are decisive games, decisive rounds, we have also some stress. It's a different kind of stress, but also there's a stress in those situations. How does the player deal with this stress? How do you face these stressing situations? Well, psychology one more time. And also, for example, how do you feel when you face stronger opponents? Does facing a stronger opponent affect the way you play? Does this affect your style? Does this affect the time management? Does this change the way you feel during the game when you are facing somewhere who is higher rated? All these things are important, and you need a good psychological preparation to deal with that. And the same thing, for example, when you're facing a weaker opponent, do you underestimate your opponent? Do you change the way you play or think too much when you're facing a weaker opponent? Finally, I want to highlight the training mindset. So how do you train? How do you understand how valuable those training hours are if you are really wanting to get better at chess? Well, in all those situations, a good psychological preparation is going to be very important. Finally, and point number 5 of the things that I could do if I could start over is analyze your games. And of course, this has been said a lot, but one more time, this is essential. This is something we cannot miss. This is a point that has to be highlighted. Analyze your games, and this is more important nowadays. Let me tell you something. When I was a kid, we were playing over the board all the time. So I played like, I don't know, 10 games, and I didn't have those 10 games. For example, I played 10 Blitz games. There's no way I can get those 10 Blitz games back. So if I did mistakes in those games, well, those are mistakes that I will make again in the next games. There's no way to fix that. And of course, this is a problem. So this is something that we don't have today. So today you're playing online, and you have in your history or your profile, you have all your games. So you can check your game and review what you're doing wrong and learn from that mistake. If you do that 1,000 times, well, you will get better for sure. There's no way you don't get better if you're analyzing 1,000 games and you're analyzing the mistakes you did in those 1,000 games. For sure you will get better after that. So that's something that we didn't have previously, and I think it has to be highlighted, and it's something we need to use today. If you want to get better, that's something I could do for sure if I could start over. About the question, when do we analyze the game? After playing 10 games or after playing one game, we analyze and then we repeat that process. I don't really care about that. I mean, I think it's fine either way. You can play 10 games and after that session of playing, analyze the 10 games. Or you can play one game and after you finish that, review and see where your mistakes were and learn from those mistakes. And once you finish that, go for the next game and play a lot, just like that. I think it's good either way. And another question that I get a lot, how to analyze your games. Well, there should be a video somewhere over here that talks about that, how to analyze your chess games, some tips and some ideas. There is also one tip about draw one table and highlight the mistakes and work on those mistakes and some things. I would recommend the video. I think it's good. So take a look at that, and I think you might have some idea about how you should analyze your games and learn from this process. But the thing is that it's something we need to do for sure, especially if you're really wanting to improve, like a challenge, or if you're like a professional or something like that. Of course, you need to analyze your games even more. So these are the things that I could do if I could start over again. YouTube says that this video over here is going to be good for you, so check it out. Thank you so much, guys. Like and subscribe if you think this was good, if you found something valuable here. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. Play the right move, and see you in the next.